March Madness, the NCAA's college basketball tournament, coming to a close in the next few days with the men's final 4 games on Saturday. That's followed by the championships on Monday. And don't forget about the women's final 4. That's Friday with their championship on Sunday. Americans expected to bet over $2.7 billion by the end of the tournament. That's double the amount of Super Bowl bets this year, according to the American Gaming Association. If you take a look at my bracket, and here we go, the producer's just airing me out once again here. We can have a little fun on this one, though. How can we, though, have a little fun safely betting on the games without losing our shirts here? Joining me now, we've got Ross Mack, personal finance expert and creator of Macconomics. Ross, I don't know how your bracket looks. Hopefully a little bit better than mine. I don't have any Final Four teams, but I'm enjoying watching the games nonetheless. How can people make sure that they don't overbet?
Well, one, Brad, thanks for having me. 2, my bracket is just as bad. I think I got UConn left, but I got Purdue losing early. But I love the question, right? How can you make sure you don't lose your shirt betting? One, you just got to understand, in order to truly have fun, you should not be using money that you can't afford to lose, right? Do not bet money that you can't afford to lose, because there's an old saying, right? Vegas always wins. And one thing, the biggest thing to really realize is that the moment that you start looking at these parlays, I think we've all seen on social media, someone turning $10 into $250,000, right? Everybody now wants to do it, right? But understand the actual odds of hitting parlays, they go down considerably every time you add a new leg. And by definition, a leg is just another bet on the same exact ticket. So using statistics, right, by having a 10-leg parlay, you're going to have less than a 0.15% chance of winning. By having 5 legs, meaning 5 legs on the same betting slip, you're going to have less than 4% chance of winning. So anytime you actually see someone winning a big parlay bet, just understand that that's marketing. All they're trying to do is get you to find a way to say, okay, let me get your $10. Let me get your $20. For every person that wins that $200,000, there's 200,000 people that just lost $10 trying to replicate the exact same thing. So in order to not lose your shirt, don't bet money you can't afford to lose. And I would recommend, right, I don't never recommend gambling, but if you are to do it and trying to have fun, it's actually best to do single bets.
Interesting. Okay, so what if you're more of an investor than a gambler here? Should you consider buying shares of perhaps a betting company even?
I love the idea, right? I don't own any as of now, but if you are loving the overall kind of FOMO of people starting to sports bet, other states finally legalizing it, then yeah, the answer is yes, right? I would obviously do your own due diligence and look to see which company has more cash, which companies are having more revenue, spending less cash, right? Obviously, anytime you turn on the TV and when you see an advertisement for it, they're spending a lot of cash. But I think overall, when it's all said and done, you have the ability to, when your friends say, oh, I almost won this parlay, well, guess what? That person is now paying you.
That's right, yeah. Anytime you see JB Smoove pop up in an ad for one of the betting apps, more than likely that means a company is spending heavily on that customer acquisition cost as well here. Although
Literally.
Very good commercials out there, we will say here, very creative. You know, just lastly, while we have you, how can we make sure that people are investing like an NCAA all-star here?
I love it, right? What I would say is you have to do it automated, right? Take all the guessing work out, find a very safe ETF, right? I always recommend the very first one you buy is the S&P 500. And guess what? Take all the guessing work out. We're all used to paying bills on a monthly basis. How about pay your future self on a monthly basis by setting up automated investing into the S&P 500?
All right, just lastly, who do you got winning?
I got UConn, and for the ladies, I have Southern Carolina.
Oh, okay, all right, South Carolina, we'll see. Great program over there and great program at UConn as well here.
Gamecocks.
Ross, there you go. Ross Mack, thanks so much for taking the time.
Thanks for having me.